So whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That is the power the power of expectation, right? And when I talk about the power of expectation, it's this belief in ourselves, in the universe, in results, in the things we're doing, all of those things feed our outcomes with an energy. Okay. And when I say outcomes, I'm talking about something you're trying to create, right? Whether that's your experience with money and business, whether it's your experience with relationships or your body, or anything else in your reality, right? There is this energy that gets fed into the universe when you are in this energy of expectation. So the energy of expectation works whether you expect a positive outcome, a negative outcome, or a neutral outcome. Okay? So when we are in this expectant energy, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral, we are feeding our divine life source energy, our infinite creative energy, right? Because we're energetic beings in an energetic world. So we are masters at moving, aligning, manipulating, but not in a negative way, energy and energetic outcome. Often, so if we tap into the fact that we are creators, right? That we somehow, no matter what you believe in, that we somehow can affect result in our reality, right? That we are energetic beings in an energetic world, and the energy that we move in matters to what we create in our life, right? The energy that we move in matters to the outcome or the results that we experience in our life, right? The realities that we experience. It's why confidence is so important, right? And Tessa's a confidence coach, and she mentors people on really building this like beautiful reality of inner confidence and walking in that and speaking in that. And the reason that our confidence matters so much is because there's an energy to that, right? The underlying energy under confidence is a belief in ourselves and what we're doing and what we're saying and what we're moving in, right? And so there's an energy to confidence that changes the outcome for people, changes the reality for people, right? And it's this, and confidence is one example of it, right? But expectation, the energy of expectation, is the way I like to describe the frequency when you're feeding your energy into a particular outcome. And like I said, it could be positive, it could be negative, it could be neutral. It's what you're expecting to happen from in a certain area of your life, right? If you're taking action, it's what you're expecting to come from the action that you're taking in your business or your life. If it's the thoughts you're thinking, right? It's the expectation of what you're expecting to happen because your thoughts are running a certain way. It's the expectation of if you're in a relationship, of what you're expecting your partner to do, right? There is an energy of expectation. And if we dove into it in relationships, which isn't something I talk about a lot, but it's something I'm a master at. When we're in a relationship and there's something in our relationship we don't like, there's a problem or whatever, we often think that we either need to fix it, right? Or we need to move on. Like we need to move to a different relationship. And what I've actually found to be true in my own relationship and in the work that I've done with other people is that when you expect a different outcome, when you get clear on your intentions, you get clear on your desires, and you expect a different outcome, even without you doing anything different, it will solve itself. Okay? Whether that person suddenly changes their behavior, whether they move on, right? There is like this, the energy of expectation and being in that expectant, I'm really clear on what I desire in my relationship, and this is just how it's going to be, that actually will shift to the reality. And I've got, many, many examples of how this works. So Tessa said, the limited expectation is likely to result in limited outcomes, thus confirming your already incorrect assumption. It's a negative cycle. So it can also be a positive one if you lead it. This is exactly true. And this is why this conversation right now is so important, is because when we're expecting negative outcomes, and then like Tessa's saying here, when we're expecting negative outcomes and then we see negative results, we tell ourselves, oh yeah, of course, because that's how things always work out for me, or I knew that was going to happen, right? But when we shift into, okay, the energy of expectation is powerful. It has a powerful effect on the outcome, on the result. So I'm noticing my pattern of expecting negatively and seeing this reaffirming cycle because that's what I get. I am actually going to choose to tap into the power of expectation. And as I'm working on something, whether it's in my business or it's in my life or my relationship or whatever, my body, as I'm working on this, what I'm going to do is, as often as necessary, as often as I can remember, as often as, I set a timer on my phone for every hour and I tap into this expectation that's positive. I literally sit there and feel into what it would feel like if the outcome was better than I expected, right? If not only did it meet my positive expectations, but it exceeded them, what would that be like? I do all of the things I would have done anyway, but I set my mind and my intentions and my energy behind it being better than I could have possibly imagined, right? The outcomes. So yes, Sam, it's like, as often as you can, both verbally and internally and all of the things energetically, expect better than the best, right? Expect better than the best. And you know what it feels like when you're in that energy of expectation, right? Whether it's positive, negative, or neutral, you know what it feels like. If you're stressed and worried about something and you're overthinking the outcome of something, that's where you're in the negative space, right? And you're creating these more negative outcomes or more limited outcomes. And you know what that feels like because you can feel all of your energy feeding into it, right? Same with when you've had something that you've expected to go well, where you've gotten really excited about something and you're really lit up about something. You know what that feeling of expectation feels like and what's going on in you when you're in that expectant energy. So all I'm saying in this conversation is use it on purpose, right? Use it on purpose. Take your time and tap into that energy of expectation and allow it to blow your mind. Allow yourself to stretch even past the expectation of good to beyond what you possibly could have imagined.